What should you name your baby? About 50 to 100 years back, parents used to name their babies after a god like Narayana, Hari, Srinivasa, Lakshmi, Saraswati, Gayatri, and the like. But in the past few years, there is a drastic fall in naming the babies after gods. And in fact, people are addicted to name their babies in a fanciful way, which may or may not have any meaning at all. And there is also a growing trend of naming babies after evil characters and barbarians now. Of course, the most unusual name across the world, as you all know, is the name of Elon Musk's son's name, who is named as XAE-A12, pronounced as X hash A12. Does names matter? Our Sanatana Dharma extols the importance of names and naming ceremony as an important rite of passage or samskara in a human life among the 16 samskaras. Names have got special significance in our scriptures. Each name has not only a story to tell, the diction, the octave, and repeated pronunciation of such names creates a vibration which it is said will shape the destiny of that particular child. There are many narratives in our scriptures about the importance of names, and today I will briefly talk about one such story or one such narrative about a rishi named as Ajamila. This finds a mention in the Bhagavata Purana. Ajamila was a great rishi who was happily married and was carrying on his ascetic and dharmic duties in a forest. One day, he went to collect rare firewood twigs from the forest, which is used in the Homa. On his way back, he happened to see a beautiful and attractive prostitute engaged in physical activity with some man. The sight of semi-clad prostitute and her beauty attracted Ajamila so much that, in spite of recalling all his learnings, he could not control his feelings towards her. Eventually, he forsakes his wife, marries that prostitute, and neglects all duties as a rishi. He fathers 10 sons through that prostitute, the last one or the youngest son being named as Narayana. Being the youngest, he was Ajamila's favorite son. Ajamila, with that prostitute, led a life of debauchery, and at the age of 88, when he was on his deathbed, he saw the messengers, that is, Yamadhutas, sent by the god of death Yama. Seeing their hideous and frightful appearances, Ajamila cried out in fear, calling out his youngest son's name Narayana, Narayana repeatedly. It so happened that hearing the cry of God's name, that is Narayana, messengers, that is Vishnu Dutas, from the adobe of Lord Narayana came to Ajamila to protect him. It is said that the Vishnu Dutas did not allow the Yamadutas to take away the life of Ajamila, as they said that those who pronounce the name of Narayana or the Lord's name in their final moments cannot go to hell. Hearing these dialogues between these Vishnu Dutas and Yamadutas, Ajamila realizes his mistake in forsaking his priestly and dharmic lives and makes a changeover. Yamadutas returned back to hell without Ajamila's soul and reported the matter to their king, that is Lord Yama. Lord Yama says that even though a man has committed lot of sins in his life, a dying person, when he recites the name of the Lord, will be spared from the tortures of the hell. And also he admonishes his messengers that in future they should be wary of snatching the lives of persons who are reciting Lord's name on their deathbed. Later in the story, after realizing his folly for falling for a fallen woman, Ajamila, as an act of atonement, he performs severe penances to earn back the punya he had lost while consulting with that prostitute, and also for leading an adharmic life. When all his sins were atoned for, the Vishnu Devatas again comes back and they take him to the heaven. This narrative highlights the importance of remembering God at all times. You remember by way of meditation, chanting, during bhajans, discourses, listening, and reading about the Godhead. There is more likelihood of you remembering the God on your deathbed. Naming kids after God's name will probably ensure that you call out your kid's name at the time of death and thereby attain salvation. However, many remember their dogs and cats' name more frequently than God's name on their deathbed, since they are more attached to their pets than their kids. It is a popular belief that whatever animate being you remember on your deathbed, so will you become in your next birth. So, naming babies is an important aspect not only for the child but for the parents, as the ramifications are far reaching. Name your kids after God's name, just as Ajamila named his son and attained salvation. Hope you found this talk interesting. Om Tat Sat.